From the Leland's Logic, I am Leland, your host. And all right, let's just get right to it, shall we? Are you ready to get into a Leland's Logic today? Now, I have received many messages, many communications, and have been asked, or even, in some cases, told to talk about something that I have not said a word about. And this has been really intentional on my part. So as I see this as important, the state of our country and the standing of our beloved country on the world stage that is in dire straits. Now, so that's why I haven't. So I have been focused on the big picture, folks, and as many know me, know that I am wired that way. I am a big picture thinker, not to mention sometimes life teaches you wisdom through situations and circumstances. What do I mean by that? I mean that if you embrace the wisdom in life, then you do not attend the school of hard knocks quite as often, right? Well, that's right. Now, as many of you know, there have been some who have really jumped all over this news story. And what news story am I talking about? Of course I am talking and referring to the Anheuser-Busch Company's decision to put a transgender man on their Bud Light cans. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Now, this decision to advertise with a fake chick on their cans of beer has caused quite an uproar, and I will have more about this in a minute. But if you have not seen the video of Terrence K. Williams talking about the Cheez-Its box with having RuPaul on it, you need to. I mean, it is indeed racist to have RuPaul on a cracker box, isn't it? But one thing is for sure, you need to see Terrence K. Williams' reaction in this video. So I will be adding the link in the comment section of this video post, so you can see it if you haven't. I highly recommend it. We also have now the Burn Brawl Challenge. Yes, this Burn Brawl Challenge that has taken over TikTok. This is something else. Women are burning their bras in videos and uploading the videos to TikTok in protest of Nike's Dylan Mulvaney ads. Yes, this is the same transgender man who is on the Bud Light cans. Absolutely it is. And the Bud Light advertising has indeed caused quite the disruption for the Anheuser-Busch Company. The top executives have said that they were unaware of the advertising department's decision to do so. And all I can tell you is this is a great example of how true leaders set expectations and then they also inspect what they expect. Also, the Clydesdales have been canceled over this in Springfield, Missouri, where the backlash over the decision to advertise in this way has been detrimental to the Clydesdales. Now, because of the threats against Anheuser-Busch employees at a distributor in Springfield, Missouri, the company has canceled all scheduled appearances of the famous Budweiser Clydesdales. Now, I suppose PETA is going to be getting in an uproar now and wreaking havoc on those responsible for getting the Clydesdales put into lockdown. I'm going to share something. Now, one has to wonder, this is something that we have to wonder now, who will be triggered due to PETA getting involved? I mean, pretty soon our headlines are going to be like, LBGTQ strikes a partnership with GLADD to advertise in AARP magazines, as well as with NATO, NASA, CBS, PEZ, which causes angry backlash from WHO, WEF, DEA, and the FBI. And listen, if you are boycotting Bud Light, then you need to know that there are 13 other major brands that are also partnered with this transgender man. Aritza, CeraVe, Crest, Haas Labs, Instacart, K18 Hair, Kate Spade, Kind Snacks, KitchenAid, Rent the Runway, Ulta Beauty, and Nike. You need to be aware of that. Now, You know why I had not said a word about this. But I think there is a shift or movement that seems to be pushing back to all of this woke awareness. And people are sending some loud and clear messages, folks. Look, these things are valid things to have conversations about. I mean, when a man when a man disguised as a woman gets tossed out of a chess tournament after fooling officials, this becomes serious business. I mean, when even the world of chess begins to have issues with gender. It does not get any more serious than that, does it? A man pretending to be a devout Muslim woman wearing a full niqab was tossed out of a chess tournament in Nairobi, Kenya, after he was successful in making it to the final round of play. The man tore through the competition, even beating the former national chess champion and the top Ugandan chess player. They took the supposed woman, who had never spoken a word, mind you, behind closed doors, and the man spoke and admitted he was a college student male who wanted to win the $42,000 winning prize. There you go. Now, as we the people are falling off the world stage with Joe Biden, not to mention the FBI using undercover operations in churches in an attempt to stop what they say is domestic terrorism, there is also how our federal government was giving truckloads of money to social media companies to manipulate the outcomes of elections in this country. Remember that? You see, our government does not want people who can think on their own or think for themselves. You know, people who take responsibilities in life seriously. They only want citizens who will do what they are manipulated to do or told to do. They want a country full of citizens who only believe what they tell or show them, you see, and do what they tell them to do. And this begs the question, why do these people who are this way not see this? And again, this woke ideology and its soldiers lie in wait to pounce on those who say things that go against what they believe or do things that go against the grain of this aggressive but ignorant ideology. They want to disrupt the lives of those who do so. They want to destroy the lives of those who dare to go there and do so. They want to teach the people and their families that they will cancel you and your family's careers and lives, all because you step out of line and are a free thinker and are someone who knows what really made this country of ours great. Those who live in reality, okay? Now, I want to look at something that really grabbed my attention. And we're going to talk about the social media platform Twitter. As you know, Elon Musk is now heavily involved with Twitter. He owns it, basically. And Elon Musk, a little bit ago, cut 80% of the Twitter staff. He sent 80% of them packing. But Twitter is running more efficiently than it ever was, and it only has 20% of the employees. Look, great leaders understand the importance of doing less with more, and Sam Walton was a great leader who truly understood this concept. Elon Musk grasped it too. It is just too bad that our local and state and federal governments do not grasp the importance of doing more with less. In fact, where I live, the county leaders have made monkeys a priority over people. One of the leaders actually stated in a public meeting, "I know that some of you citizens can't afford air conditioning, but listen, you can feed a live monkey." And it was really exciting. We have definitely hit rock bottom, prioritizing monkeys over people. It's asinine at best, but it takes true leaders in place so they will all understand all these concepts and things. Great leaders also understand it is all about having the right people in the right spots. That too is very critical, but listen, those 80% of the employees who were removed by Musk, they were being groomed as mindless robots to assist in helping suppressing information. Just with me saying that may not alert you and make you think, oh man, this is serious. Does it make you do that? But understand this. What I am talking about is the way that Jack Dorsey at Twitter was literally molding people's minds to infiltrate us with all of these different news stories all at once, regardless of how stupid or untrue the stories were, all just to hide facts, all just to hide the truth from us. This is just like in the 1991 movie Class Action starring Gene Hackman. Hackman is one of my favorite actors, by the way. There is a scene in this movie where Gene Hackman, who is a lawyer, is in a big lawsuit, and his daughter is an attorney for the other side. And at times, this movie really pricks your emotions greatly. If you haven't seen it, it's a good watch. Anyways, Gene Hackman has requested information from the car manufacturing company's legal team. So they send him truckloads of boxes filled with all kinds of reports and paperwork. And Hackman asks, why would one do such a thing? And then he and his go-to person identify the car manufacturing legal team is trying to hide something important and that they don't want them to find. So Hackman says, we have to find the needle in the haystack, in which they eventually do, and it is very incriminating evidence. It caused Gene Hackman to win the lawsuit, okay? Now, why did I tell you that? Because this is what Jack Dorsey's ploy have these brainwashed people to inundate you with information in order for you not to be able to find the needle in the haystack. What is the needle in the haystack they didn't want you to find? Well, this one specific thing I'm talking about is Twitter's open source, which revealed that the U.S. government can intervene with and manipulate recommendation algorithm. Some of you may be asking, well, what is an algorithm? An algorithm is a process or set of rules to be followed in calculations or other problem-solving operations, especially by a computer. Thus, why did I complete an entire show on artificial intelligence? To many of you who may not be tech savvy, this probably did not excite you very much. So let me break this down for you. This is what the government is trying to hide. And the media is assisting the government to try and hide it. This is talking about the government themselves now having the ability to influence the algorithm of Twitter, which allows the U.S. government to force as well as push its agenda on you and hide the truth from you. That is the needle in the haystack, folks. That is why there is so much information suppression right now. This is serious. Elon Musk started talking about it, and then he even shared when he was going to break it out and talk about it. And then, boom! The inundation of old news stories and lots of different stories got pushed out with the intent to hide this truth, to hide this fact from so many of you. This has revealed that the government has a way to literally influence an algorithm in order to push the news that they only want you to see. And somehow people think fake news is CNN, MSNBC, etc. No, our government is fake news. They push news stories massively that they want you to see in order to hide news stories that they don't want you to see. This is huge. Now, this, folks, is indeed a needle in the haystack. Now, do you see why I am always saying that we the people want transparency, that we want clarity? You see that? You see why I'm always saying that? We want to yell at the government like Tom Cruise in the movie A Few Good Men. I want the truth! Listen, what it is that we really want is the truth about everything, not just some things. And our own government is not willing to give it to us. Some are saying this is not something new. Well, It is new when it comes to tech. And it is new to most if they did not know about it and weren't aware of it happening in the world of social media now. Now, you know that all things are possible, good or evil, truth or lies, and deception practices on social media platforms by our very own government. Needle in the haystack. I want to ask some questions now, though. I want to ask you some questions. When you work at a job and the top executives and the bosses are always lying to the employees, how does that end? When you live in a country where your government is always lying to everybody about so many things, how does that end? Do you see where we're going? Do you see where this country's heading? And this has been a play out of the communism playbook forever, folks. We need to get involved. We need to get engaged in the different governmental processes. And that means at the local, state, and federal levels of government before it is just over, folks. You see what I'm saying? Now, I want to go back. I want to go back to our chess cheating story. You remember that? You know, where the man dressed up like a woman in order to compete in a all-women's chess tournament in order to win the $42,000 grand prize. Remember that? Remember the male college student who did the Muslim version of Mrs. Doubtfire and got caught? Thus, he was disqualified for being a male in an all-female chess tournament. Do you know that last year, in the world of chess, there was another cheating scandal? Did you know that? There was. And it was at the Field Cup in St. Louis, Missouri. A 19-year-old American, Hans Niemann, a man who had beat another man who was a chess champion, 31-year-old Magnus Carlsen, who is from Norway. Okay, so it's not like normal, right? Just somebody beating somebody in chess. But Hans Niemann was the lowest rated player in the tournament, and he was accused of cheating. How was he supposedly cheating? How was it? He was accused of using an electronic chess move generator hidden somewhere on his person that was wirelessly linked to an anal massage device. That is how he was allegedly cheating. The stink of it was that the massage device would buzz in some sequence to alert Niemann what moves to make. And Niemann filed a $100 million lawsuit to combat the allegations following the tournament, as he adamantly denies that he utilized this sex toy for an advantage. Now, when Niemann enters any and all chess tournaments, he has to have his rear end scanned. Well, there you have it. Leland's logic. And hey, I will see you where the rubber hits the road.